Hello, welcome back to Veggie Plot. This video is going to be a bit of a mishmash video. We're going to be taking some things indoors like the onions because we've got some very cold weather coming up, and when you plant in sets, if they get a very cold snap more or less after you planted them, there's a greater chance of them bolting. So these are going to go indoors for the next couple of nights. I've also got to split up these aubergines and chilies and so on. I double planted some of them and lots didn't come up, so I've got to re-sow some of those, so it's a bit late in the season, so I've got to sort them out. Also want to be planting up some more seeds, and then I want to pop up to the greenhouse to show you what's going on in there with the tomatoes and why it's important not to sow your tomatoes too early if you haven't got the space for them. And then we're going to go up to the allotments. Both allotments I've got quite a lot to harvest, lots of things to do today, so let's go. So much going on in the garden today, isn't there? But yeah, got these onions. So let's pop up to the greenhouse and have a look in there, because I've moved all the tomatoes out of the house and I'm going to be doing so. Let's just put these down. I'm going to be doing so for the next few nights. The tomatoes are getting a bit tall and lanky. They're in a south-facing windowsill, which is really great and usually fine for them, but I want to slow them up a bit, so they're coming out here during the day. These are the ones that have been indoors, and these are the ones which have been out during the day. These are my spares, and you can see they're a lot further behind, a bit cooler out here, so that's what I'm hoping to do with these. And that's one thing to remember: if you sow your tomatoes too early in the season, you've got to make sure that when they get taller, and obviously they'll get a bit taller before I plant them out than these, you need to have room indoors for them. And if you haven't got a space outside to put them during the day, then you can get rather overcrowded and they get very leggy. So anyway, that's the state of the tomatoes, all doing really well. And these, yeah, also, yeah, not too bad. Right, now let's go and get the other stuff and we'll pop up to the allotment and get some of these harvests. Right, first thing I want to get is this Florence Fennel, which has been hanging around from last year actually. I've just been keep cutting it down and it keeps bulbing up a little bit. So I know they're very small, but I can use this for flavouring or chopping up raw in salads and things like that. Also the leaves as well, we use for fish. So I'm just going to take a couple of these from this tub. And now we'll go and get some celeriac. Right, this is the celeriac, which was grown last year and it's been in these tubs. I covered it in a couple of videos. I just want to harvest a couple of these tubs, clear them out, because I want to start using them for something else, or maybe even preparing them for more celeriac for next year. But just cutting round the base with a knife, and then we end up with a nice celeriac there. I want to take this one as well, so just topping the greenery off. That will go in the compost bit later, and then I just get the knife and I cut around the edges and yeah, cut them out of the soil. Right, just want to take out this last little remaining celeriac in this tub. It's a really good way to grow them if you haven't grown them before or you've struggled with them. They do need a lot of moisture, and that's what I found anyway. Right, that's the third one. Right, that's 3 lovely celeriac along with the fennel. Right, let's head up to the allotment and see what else we can find. Right, one of the main crops on the allotment at the moment is rhubarb. If you don't grow rhubarb, you really should. And yeah, you just pull it off at the base, chop the leaves off, and you've got these lovely stalks, absolutely wonderful. If you haven't, as I say, grown it before, you don't eat the leaves. They're not very good for you. So yeah, you just pull them off at the base, chop the end off, chop the leaves off, pop them in your basket. I really love growing rhubarb. It's sort of a perennial sort of crop. It just comes up every year. You can divide the crowns quite easily, which is where it all grows from, and sort of increase your crop really easily every year. So this, I think, is a variety called Timperley Early, and yeah, it really does really well this time of year. Right, and that's good. Let's pop up to the other allotment now, go and see if we can get some of this leeks, I think, and some purple sprouting broccoli. Right, I haven't been up to the allotment for a little while actually, at least a couple of weeks. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be like, but we've got quite a nice harvest basket at the moment, but I'm pretty sure I've got some lovely purple sprouting broccoli up here and some more leeks, so let's go and check it out. So yeah, look at all this lovely purple sprouting broccoli in here. So loads of it actually. I had no idea there'd be quite so much. So yeah, better get this netting off and then yeah, see what we can harvest. Right, let's just put this down here. I don't know if you can actually snap this off or not. Let's have a look. Oh yes, you can. Quite easily. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Really lovely. Right, let's just put that in the basket and see what else we can collect. I do believe with purple sprouting broccoli that the more you pick it, the more harvest you'll get. So it's worthwhile popping up to the allotment if you've got some and making sure you harvest it regularly. Right, let's see what we've got. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? A beautiful colouring on it. Gorgeous. Well, I'm really pleased with that little harvest, or big harvest I should say, purple sprouting broccoli. Really, really impressed. Those plants have done themselves justice. I'm glad I hung on to them. Right, let's go over and get some more leeks and then we'll head back to the polytunnel. So I think this is a beauty. So we'll try and just loosen them up a bit. Let's see, try not to break him. Bit of a wiggle. There we go. Look at the roots on that. It's obviously gone through the compost and into the soil below, so it shows I need to top these beds up this year, but isn't that a beauty? Absolute cracker. Right, one thing I had noticed about a couple of them is that they are beginning to go to seed, and so if you've got leeks on the allotment, might be worth considering getting up there now and getting them before they all go to seed, unless of course you're saving them for seed. Right, they're the leeks. Really, really pleased with these. These are Musselburgh leeks, as I said, and they're really good ones to sow now, get going, and when they're about a pencil thickness wide, plant them out, and they'll go all through the season, right through the winter, into the spring, and then you'll just get these lovely big fat juicy leeks. I mean, you can harvest them earlier, but they'll just be a bit thinner. But yeah, really, really pleased with these Musselburgh. Right, along with the other harvest, let's get back to the polytunnel, pot up those chilies and split the aubergines and things, get them done and sow some more seeds. Oof. Oh, it's hot in here. Better take this off. Oh. Right, that was a nice little harvest, wasn't it? Get that done. It's good to go up and see what was going on in the other allotments. So I've got all these chilies and aubergines to split. Now I planted them 2 up, 2 per cell, and some have come up as 2s and some not, and obviously some haven't come up a 2 at all. But I think that's because these are old seeds, so never mind. I've got enough to fill up all the spaces that I planned in the record book, so I'm just going to split these, repot them up, and then take them back indoors because obviously it's too cold for the chilies out here at the moment. So these are a mixture of Black Beauty aubergines here, which are doing quite nicely, and here got quite a lot of those this year, and some Mad Hatter chili and some spaghetti chili, which are my favourite. But you can see from the bottom, even though they're really small plants, they actually are beginning to root out of the bottom, so we do need to get these potted on anyway. Now I have found a really good way, a good tool actually, although you can buy these sort of dibbers and picker-outers, whatever they're called. You can use just an old fork, and it's quite a good way of getting plants out of cells without damaging them too much when they've got really small root systems. So just use the fork just to get in there and lift out as much as you can like that, and then you can obviously repot that on. And it's really good when you're doing sort of doubles and things when you need to split them. But let's get a pot. I've got some small ones here. This is what I'm going to pot them up into, just a fairly small, what's that, sort of 2.5, 3 inch pot, something like that. Bit of compost in the bottom, squidge it down a bit, take the fork, just hook that out again. This lovely spaghetti chili, these are my favourite chilies to grow. Pop that in there, a little bit of compost around the edge, being careful not to damage the chili stem in any way. Just very gently pop that in there like that, pop the label in, and we're good to go. Right, so I'm going to get on with all of these. Right, that's got all the seedlings watered. They will go out back onto a south-facing windowsill in the lounge, and hopefully they'll romp away nicely now they're in these nice big pots. And we've got some nice ones here this year. We've got aubergine black beauty, as I said, spaghetti chili, which are my favourites, Mad Hatter chili, which are great fun to grow, and we've got some pepper Ingrid as well. So really looking forward to growing these this year, and they're all actually going to be growing in the polytunnel this year along the outer edge of the bed, so they get as much sunshine as possible. That's the idea. So I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.